At the wedding banquet, my fiancé Ethan openly put his arm around his college classmate Lily's shoulder, as if she were the bride he was meant to marry. All the friends and family attending the wedding stared at me in astonishment. I smiled sweetly and introduced them. This is the other woman in our family, my husband's mistress, my sister. Today was my wedding, the most important moment of my life. Ethan and I had agreed beforehand that his friends shouldn't spray any confetti and party string at the wedding. It was hard to clean up, highly flammable, and dangerous. Ethan had readily agreed. But after our wedding ceremony, his group of friends still sprayed a lot of confetti and party string all over my head and body. I shot an angry glance at Ethan, but he was happily laughing with his friends. I swallowed my frustration. I didn't want my wedding to be ruined because of these people. Then, with the help of my bridesmaids, I went backstage to change into another dress. After freshening up and returning to the banquet hall, I saw my husband, Ethan, with his arm around his college classmate Lily's shoulder. They were chatting about something, laughing heartily. Ethan must have made some joke, prompting Lily to coyly punch his chest. Ethan grabbed her soft hand, teasingly leaned closer to Lily's ear. My friends, who had been congratulating me, looked at me awkwardly, and the lively scene suddenly fell silent. I smiled and walked with my friends toward Ethan and Lily. Even when I reached their side, Ethan didn't remove his arm from Lily's shoulder. Instead, he calmly looked at my friends and politely greeted them. "You're all Grace's friends, right? Welcome, welcome." As he spoke, he extended his hand, trying to shake hands with one of my female friends. My friend looked uncomfortable, clearly not wanting physical contact with an unfamiliar man. I slapped down Ethan's outstretched hand and asked him, "Is this person you're holding a friend of yours?" Lily, as if not ing was wrong, chimed in, "Sis, don't you recognize me? We've had dinner together before." I feigned a look of sudden realization. "Oh, I remember now. The one who always likes to call me sis, my husband's college classmate, right?" I smiled sweetly, turned to face the surrounding friends and guests, and introduced, "This is the other woman in our family, my husband's mistress, my sister." Hearing me say that, Ethan and Lily's expressions instantly turned very awkward. Ethan angrily snapped at me, "Grace, what nonsense are you talking?" Facing an enraged Ethan, I remained composed. What else? How should I introduce this young woman who's openly affectionate with my husband at our wedding banquet, and who, despite being the same age as me, always insists on calling me sis? Lily's eyes were slightly red, on the verge of tears, and her voice was tinged with a sob. "I just thought I was 2 months younger than you, sis, and I wanted to show you respect. That's why I called you that. Even if you don't like it, you don't have to insult me like this, do you?" Seeing her tears, Ethan immediately felt a pang of sympathy. He stepped in front of Lily, frowning at me. "On our special day, what are you doing causing a scene?" I looked coldly at Ethan. "You still remember it's our special day? What does it mean for you to be hugging another woman at our wedding banquet? Who's causing a scene?" Ethan replied with an indifferent expression, "It's just old classmates catching up. You women are so narrow-minded and tend to overthink things." I scoffed, "First time I've seen catching up involve getting physical. It's certainly an eye-opener." My sarcastic tone clearly displeased Ethan. He said irritably, "Everyone's watching. Be mindful of your behavior. Don't make trouble for no reason." Who are those sarcastic comments for anyway? Seeing snap at me, Lily's lips quickly curled into a smile before flattening out again. My friends couldn't stand it anymore and all spoke up to reprimand Ethan. "You're hugging another woman at your wedding, and somehow Grace is the one making trouble?" "Exactly. As a married man, don't you know to keep your distance from other women? You mess up yourself and then blame Grace for not considering the bigger picture? Your talent for blaming the victim is truly exceptional." As everyone took turns criticizing him, Ethan's face darkened completely. "Are you here to attend the wedding, or to cause trouble?" Lily chimed in, "No wonder they say you shouldn't pick a partner with too many female friends. With this attitude, are you ladies trying to break up Ethan and Grace?" Lily, acting coy, said to Ethan, "I always make friends with guys. They're generous and forthright, always thinking of their friends, and would never try to break a couple up." I ignored Lily's scheming and manipulative act, fixing my gaze on Ethan. "I clearly misjudged you. After all that searching, I ended up with someone like you. I see no point in continuing with this wedding." Ethan and I had agreed to have the wedding first, then register our marriage. Now that the wedding wasn't continuing, registering our marriage was even more out of the question. But all our assets needed to be sorted out clearly. For this marriage, I hadn't asked for a dowry, and Ethan and I each owned a property intended as our marital home. My parents had bought me a 120 square meter apartment in the new district's Willow Residences. It was close to both Ethan's workplace and mine, with excellent amenities and convenient living. We planned to live in my apartment after getting married, as it was more convenient. Ethan's apartment, however, was only 80 square meters and in a rather remote location. At the time, I hadn't voiced any objections. After all, when I chose Ethan, I knew his family background was average. I was simply drawn to his good looks and his ambition at work, plus he'd pursued me so earnestly. So, I had agreed to be with him. Ethan had once casual. "Why suggested that we both sell our apartments and buy a luxury condo together. Looking back now, I'm glad I didn't agree. After all, my apartment was priced at an average of $22,000 per square meter, while Ethan's was just over $8,000. If we had bought a place together, who knows how complicated it would be to split the down payment and loan later. As for my car, worth over 300,000 yuan, that was part of my personal assets, I would certainly be taking that with me. Regarding the wedding cash gifts received by both families, I planned to return my share to our friends and family. I wouldn't concern myself with Ethan's share. Ethan looked at me as if I were an unreasonable, spoiled child. Our friends and family traveled all this way to bless our marriage, and now you're saying it's off? Are you treating marriage as a joke? Is this child's play to you? I actually laughed in disbelief at Ethan's shamelessness. Who's treating marriage as a joke? The wedding isn't even over, and you're already cozying up with another woman. If we'd registered our marriage, you'd probably bring every dirty, foul thing into my bed. Lily, feeling implicated, was quick to voice her displeasure. Sis, that's a bit much to say. Ethan has been working tirelessly for this wedding, spending countless hours and money. To just call it off like this, you're really betraying his efforts. Ethan seemed pleased by Lily's defense, and he reached out and held her hand. I was sick to my stomach. Stop disgusting me right here. Tell your parents that today is over. We'll discuss the subsequent division of assets later. The commotion we caused was considerable, and both Ethan's parents and my parents gathered around. Ethan's mother smiled at me reassuringly. Grace, don't worry, we only recognize you as our daughter-in-law. We won't recognize any other woman. I quickly cut off Ethan's mother's pleasantries. Please, Aunt, I'm not so fortunate. I think Ethan is better suited for this young woman who likes to call people sis. I wish you both eternal happiness. Perhaps seeing my firm stance, Ethan finally started to panic a little. Grace, you're just too particular. If you don't like my sociable nature, I'll be more careful in the future, okay? Is it really necessary to cause such a scene? I finally saw clearly. When was pursuing me, he acted like a rare good man. But as soon as we were getting married, he thought I was stuck with him, that I couldn't escape. He didn't even bother to pretend anymore. His true nature was just exposed. In fact, he wasn't clever enough. Most men only reveal their true nature after women have children. Women are soft-hearted, resilient, and morally upright. With children, they would compromise and make it work, no matter what. Still, I should be glad Ethan couldn't keep up the act, allowing me to cut my losses in time. I said decisively, I don't tolerate infidelity. I'm their only daughter, and my parents usually deferred to me on family matters. Seeing outrageous behavior today, they were also very angry. My dad stated directly, my family doesn't want such a frivolous son-in-law. A wedding that should have been joyous ended on a sour note. After my parents and I saw off our friends and family, I didn't stay at home. I dragged my exhausted body back to Willow Residences. As soon as I approached the bedroom, I heard some disgusting sounds. I kicked open the bedroom door. With a bang, the door slammed against the wall. The loud noise made the disgusting couple on the bed jump in fright. Ethan turned and saw me, looking flustered. He quickly wrapped Lily in the blanket, then frantically picked up his pants from the floor. Grace, let me explain. I didn't say a word, my arms crossed, watching Ethan's performance, but kept stammering for a while without being able to explain himself. I looked at him calmly. Go on, weren't you going to explain? By then, Lily had managed to get dressed while still under the blanket. She leaped over to Ethan, linked her arm through his, and with a determined expression, said to me, I'm sorry, sis, but I suddenly realized I still love Ethan. I can't let him go. Today, seeing him stand at the altar, all I could think was, I wish it were me standing next to him. Then, with a deeply affectionate look at Ethan, she continued, before, I never truly understood my own heart. It wasn't until I saw you at the wedding that I realized, I want to marry you. I want to be your bride. I interrupted her impatiently. All right, I get it, you only like married men. Don't perform a melodramatic soap opera in front of me. It disgusts me. I looked at Ethan with contempt. You don't even have money for a hotel room? Are you that broke? You just break into someone else's home to do this? Are you a beggar? I held out my hand. And also, give me back the keys to my house. Hearing me say that, Lily immediately glared at me like a protective animal. Sis, you're not Ethan's wife anymore. This marital home has nothing to do with you. Shouldn't you be the one handing over the keys, sis? I looked at Ethan with a faint smile. Do you tell everyone outside that this is your apartment? Do you use this to deceive women? Ethan looked at me, a bit embarrassed. Grace, do spouses really need to divide things so clearly? Lily looked up at Ethan, somewhat bewildered, and asked, unwilling to give up hope, Ethan, did you gift the marital home to Grace? Ethan remained silent. I slowly spoke, shattering Lily's illusion. Now, both of you, get out of my apartment. Ethan, his lie exposed in front of Lily, said exasperatedly, Grace, do you know why our wedding turned out like this today? It's because you're too strong-willed. You always refuse to show me any respect in front of others. My friends caused a little trouble at the wedding, and you got angry about that too. I'm a man, I need a gentle and virtuous wife, not a bossy tyrant who's constantly telling me what to do. I ignore Ethan's rambling nonsense and continued to emphasize, I said, get out. Ethan seemed lost in his own world. I really don't think there's any need for us to register our marriage. I still like Lily. Lily, with a touched expression, looked at Ethan. Ethan, damn, it's exhausting trying to communicate with an idiot. I pulled out my phone. I'm counting to 3. If you're not gone by then, I'm calling the police for trespassing. Ethan angrily pulled Lily up beside him. Fine, you're really heartless. Wait. I called out to the two as they prepared to leave. Leave the keys, and transfer me $1,000 for a cleaning fee right now. Lily looked at me indignantly. Are you robbing us? I calmly replied, that's nothing compared to breaking into someone else's home and messing around with a man. Most people wouldn't dare pull off your thuggish behavior. This $1,000 is for cleaning up the mess you made in my apartment. I haven't even charged you for emotional damages. Lily was about to say something else, but Ethan interrupted her. I'll pay. But, Grace, trying to attract me this way won't do anything. Now that I've seen my true feelings, no matter what tricks you try, I won't love you. I shivered, goosebumps rising on my arms. I couldn't believe he was this narcissistic. I clicked my tongue. Don't worry, you really don't need to worry about that. Ethan left the keys, transferred the $1,000, then pulled Lily with him and stormed out, slamming the door. I looked at the messy room and felt disgusted and nauseated. After calling a cleaning service on my phone, I went back to stay at my parents' house. After the cleaning service was done, anything that needed to be thrown out was gone, and I changed the door lock. The next day, Ethan sent me a long list of expenses, detailing all the money he had spent on me during our relationship. It included everything from the cost of a bubble tea to dinner expenses, flowers, and gifts he bought me while pursuing me, and cash gifts given on special occasions. I looked closely and saw that even the packed lunches he had made for me during our relationship were converted to money and sent over. All these scattered expenses added up to approximately $23,000. I actually laughed in disbelief. We'd been together for half a year, and I had paid for most of our meals. When he gave me gifts, I reciprocated with more expensive ones. I had spent far more money on Ethan than he had on me. He actually had the nerve to demand this money from me? I called to scold Ethan, but he actually argued back self-righteously, claiming he had records of transfers to me. Did I have any proof? Only then did I remember that sometimes, Ethan would offer to treat me to a meal, but then have me pay, promising to transfer the money back to me later. Most of the time, I wouldn't accept his transfers. I thought he might not be very well off, so I felt a pang of sympathy and didn't want to take his money. But sometimes he would act coy and insist I accept some transfers, saying they were cash gifts for his girlfriend. I never imagined there was such a trick. I really couldn't stand it, so I shared a video on my TikTok account titled, Beware of Men's Schemes. I detailed to my followers how men would have you pay the bill during meals, then send you Venmo transfers later, so after a breakup, they could use those transfer records to demand their money back. It was like you paid for the guy's meal and then also had to give him money during your relationship. To my surprise, the video went viral. Many netizens in the comments section shared clever tips on how to guard against men trying to scam money. Some netizens even dug up information from my previous videos and figured out my boyfriend was Ethan. Then, people in the comments started asking if it was him. I just replied with a smiley face, and then people found Ethan's account and messaged him to curse him out. Ethan Cal led me, furiously asking what I was trying to do. I innocently replied, I just wanted to help netizens distinguish which men like to scam money, that's all. Why are you so anxious? Ethan yelled at me angrily, fine, I don't want those 23,000, alright? Delete the video. I replied reluctantly, do you know I'm making money because the video went viral? Someone might even pay me for advertisements. If I delete it, will you be responsible for the subsequent losses? I'd estimate $1 million wouldn't even cover it. Of course, Ethan couldn't give me $1 million. He didn't have $1 million. So, in the end, he could only exasperatedly say, you're something else. You just wait, before hanging up. Faster than Ethan's retaliation was a call from his mother. Ethan's mother earnestly tried to persuade me over the phone to forgive Ethan, saying she disapproved of a frivolous woman like Lily and only liked me. If dared to be with Lily again, she would disown him. Those were just words to be heard, not believed. What mother wouldn't side with her own son? I firmly refused Ethan's mother's attempts at reconciliation. I'm sorry, Aunt, but I can't be with someone who betrayed me. Not long after I hung up on Ethan's mother, Ethan called. Don't try to talk to my mom about reconciliation. I can't be with you. I like Lily. I interrupted his rambling. I don't know what your mom told you, but please don't fall into self-indulgent delusion, okay? You liking a pig has nothing to do with me. Please, you and your family, stop calling me from now on. Block each other, and goodbye forever. Unfortunately, I blocked Ethan and all his family's contact information, but to my surprise, I saw him and Lily in the Willow Residences complex. When saw me, she acted like a victor, holding up her left hand and wiggling it at me. Ethan and I are getting married. Will you come to our wedding, sis? I can have Ethan send you an invitation. I frowned. When are you going to us? Top this habit of claiming family? Who's your sis? I certainly don't have such a shameless sister. Then I squinted, looking at her ring. Is that a diamond ring? Where's the diamond? You'd need a magnifying glass to see it, wouldn't you? Lily's face flushed crimson, and a flicker of embarrassment crossed Ethan's face. He then said exasperatedly, Grace, don't cause trouble. What good does it do you to provoke my fiancé? You're not still hung up on me, are you? I spat at him. Stop flattering yourself. I was actually going to ask, did you two move into our complex to rent an apartment because you can't let go of me? Why is it that you two, this disgusting couple, are both obsessed with me? Can't live without me? Seeing this scum furious and jumping mad made me delighted. The next day after work, when I saw Ethan and Lily again, they had a poodle with them. My body immediately froze. I'm extremely afraid of dogs because I was bitten as a child, leaving me with trauma. Ethan knew this. He was doing it on purpose. As soon as Lily saw me, she let go of the leash. The few months old puppy, very friendly, immediately ran towards me. I was too scared to move. Only when she saw me scared, pale and dripping with cold sweat did Lily feign an apology, come forward, and pull the puppy away. Oh dear, I'm so sorry, my hand slipped, and I couldn't hold on to the leash. Ethan stood nearby, smirking triumphantly. Alright, you want to play like that, huh? I'll play along to the very end. That night, I accidentally posted a 3-second video in the residence group chat. It showed Ethan and Lily's good deeds in my bedroom, though their faces weren't clear, just a fleeting movement of two people. About 30 seconds later, I quickly withdrew it and posted a message, oops, my hand slipped. But everyone, please be careful. A shameless couple broke into my home and did such things in my bedroom. Everyone really needs to be vigilant. I was confident that this brief half-minute was enough for many residents, who were always on their phones, to have seen it. Not long after, an unfamiliar number called. I answered cheerfully. It was Ethan, of course. After I blocked him, he had to use other phones to call me. Ethan roared at me furiously from the other end of the line. What are you trying to do? That's illegal. You secretly filmed us and even posted it in the chat. I replied in a good mood. Oh, you scared me to death. But don't you dare falsely accuse me. I informed you when I installed the security camera in the bedroom, and you agreed to it. Back then, when we were planning the wedding, I scrolled through a short video platform and saw posts about people taking advantage of the wedding chaos, pretending to be relatives from either side, and following to the marital home to steal the wedding cash reserve. So, I suggested installing a security camera in the bedroom before the wedding. That way, if a thief broke into the marital home, we'd have video evidence, making it easier to call the police. After the wedding, we could remove it and install it at the door to deter thieves. In fact, Ethan himself installed the security camera. His lust-addled brain must have forgotten about this detail, leaving me with this disgusting but useful video. I continued cheerfully, besides, my hand just slipped and I posted it in the chat, but I immediately withdrew it, didn't I? You can't falsely accuse me. Ethan tried his best to suppress his anger. You're a woman too. Do you know how devastating such a video can be for a woman? Please, stop provoking Lily. She's pregnant, and her emotions aren't very stable. I sneered. Pregnant? Are you kidding me? Were you already with her before our wedding? That's rich. You betrayed me, and now you have the nerve to ask me to be considerate of the other woman. Ethan forced a wry smile. Can we stop targeting each other like this? Can't we just part ways amicably? Talk about blaming the victim. Is it me who do? Want to part ways amicably? Tell me, who started it? You came to my apartment to disgust me? During our relationship, you were already planning how to scam money from me? And then you moved into my complex and used a dog to scare me? Who's the one who doesn't want to part ways amicably? I hung up on Ethan. I didn't want to hear him sicken me anymore. By then, some people in the residents' group chat had already started saying they knew who I was talking about, and that the backstory was especially juicy. Then, the curious onlookers urged him to spill the details. Someone then revealed that the woman was the other woman, and that she and the man got together at the wedding. This disgusting couple even broke into the bride's apartment and carried on, acting extremely arrogant. Everyone condemned this pair of scumbags. Then, someone took advantage of the chaos to reveal that this disgusting couple was currently in their complex. Someone else then commented, then aren't they in our residents' group chat? The chat instantly fell silent. I burst out laughing. I wondered how they felt seeing others curse them out in the chat. Ethan and Lily's retaliation came quickly. Ethan's TikTok account was still under continuous attack, but today, he actually posted a video. In the video, he accused me of twisting the facts, claiming that when we went on dates, I always chose upscale restaurants and ordered expensive dishes. Even for bubble tea, I insisted on going to expensive places like Starbucks and ordering a pile of snacks, just to take photos for social media. I barely ate a few bites, which was very wasteful. Once, I even ordered $20,000 worth of food at a Western restaurant. He claimed that later, when he made me pay, it was just to change my wasteful habit. He didn't actually want me to pay, which was why he would transfer the money back to me afterwards. It wasn't, as I claimed, because he was trying to scam money. In the video, he also implied that I not only spent money lavishly but also flirted with many men, getting them to treat me. One time, a guy saw how much I ordered at Starbucks, didn't want to pay, and ran away under the pretense of going to the bathroom. In the end, I still had to call him to pay. He claimed I lied a lot, liked to freeload, and treated men as wallets. He simply couldn't stand me anymore, which is why he chose to break up. Netizens who didn't know the truth initially attacked me blindly, but soon some discovered loopholes in Ethan's story. Starbucks requires payment up front, so how could anyone pay after eating? People then scoffed that he should at least have some basis for his rumors. I, however, immediately posted online a private prosecution complaint suing Ethan for defamation, captioning it, "The truth would speak for itself." Seeing that I was serious, Ethan got scared. Another unfamiliar number called. Ethan humbly apologized to me over the phone. That video wasn't about you. It was about an ex-girlfriend of mine. If you feel affected, I'll delete it, okay? We were together for a while, after all. There's no need to make things so hostile between us. I sneered. I can drop the lawsuit, as long as you post a video publicly apologizing to me, admitting that your previous video was spreading rumors, and also confessing that you and Lily were together before the wedding and betrayed me. Ethan gritted his teeth. Don't go too far. I replied indifferently, it's up to you. If you don't post it, then wait for your court summons. 2 days later, Ethan received the summons, and he called me again. Grace, you should always leave a way out. You might need my help someday. I lay on the sofa, swinging my feet, in a great mood. Don't worry, even if I were completely desperate, I would never ask you for help. Have you made up your mind? You don't have much time left. After a long silence, Ethan forced out 4 words, suppressing his anger. I agree. That afternoon, after I saw the video Ethan posted, I honored my promise and withdrew the lawsuit. But the video's impact was greater than I expected. Both and Lily's companies saw it, and given that the economy was sluggish this year, they fired both of them, citing moral misconduct. Having lost their jobs and without money to continue renting, Ethan moved out of Willow Residences. The thought of not having to see them after work made the air in the complex feel much fresher. I heard that Ethan took Lily home to live off their parents, Who knows how long they'll be able to live off them, but that's none of my business anymore. Next time, I definitely need to keep my eyes wide open, take my time, and not rush. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.